Hey guys, it's Jacqueline, and welcome back for another speed build in The Sims 4. Today's video is another build in my Recreating Stars Hollow series. So I'm recreating a bunch of buildings from the TV show Gilmore Girls, 'cause it's like one of my favorite TV shows. And today's build is Miss Kim's and Lane's house. It's called Kim's Antiques. It's like an antique shop thing, and oh boy, was it, yeah, it was a lot. And I am ready to wage war on the people that designed this house because, God, was it awful to furnish and design the floor plan for it. Everything was bad. Everything was, it was complicated. But okay, because the thing is, it's an antique shop, right? So the inside of it is just filled with stuff, and there's so much of it, so much stuff. The entire place is just like it's a whole like plot line in the first episode when the characters walk into the store and the character is trying to like call to her mom and she's like, "Mrs. Kim, where are you?" And then Mrs. Kim is like, "Lane, where are you?" And then she's like, "I'm by the table," and it's a joke because there's so many tables, there's so many things in this build and I can't. Okay, so yeah, it was kind of anxiety inducing building this, I'm not gonna lie, because like it just felt like it would never end, you know? It was like you place a lamp down and you're like, great, one down, 50 more to go, because there's just so much stuff. But I tried my best, I really did, and I think it turns out cute. The front yard is questionable because the thing is, once you're inside the house and you're working on it, there's like at least some kind of method to the madness. Like you can be like, yes, here's a designated section for like, I don't know, lamps, and here's a designated section for clocks, which isn't necessarily how they have it in the show, but like you'll see once I get on like what I mean by that. But on the outside, it's just like, okay, I'm gonna put a lawn gnome, and then I'm gonna put a huge plant, and then I'm gonna put like a flamingo, and it's so chaotic, and yeah, it was a bit stressful, but it was also a bit fun. See, at first I was like, oh my god, this is awful, I can't believe I have to do this, because like designing the floor plan especially, impossible, because it changes throughout the series. I have checked this, I have referenced multiple episodes to see like how the floor plan works, and it changes so much. Like at one point you go off to the right of the door and you've got the kitchen, and then at another point it's a dining room, and then another point it's a living room, and another point it's just like stuff, antiques, and it's so stressful. So yeah, but I tried my best. So I think in the end I learned to appreciate the fact that I just got to improvise, and I had fun with it. But it was like the type of fun where you're like, when will this end? Because, you know, it's enjoyable. It's a good experience, maybe. I don't know, fingers crossed. But overall, I'm still proud of the build. Really proud of the build. And I really thought that Gilmore Manor was gonna be like the hardest one to do, the hardest build out of this series. I haven't done it yet, so it might be. But, you know, for now, this one wins the title, because, God, everything else, especially, oh, by the way, if you guys are like one of the people commenting on this series so far and being like, I love the clutter, like the clutter is so nice. Yep, get ready for this build. Like, just sit back and enjoy it, because oh boy, is there stuff everywhere. Like, I used to think before I did this series that I regularly built with a lot of clutter. I don't. I don't. I just put like some stuff around houses and random surfaces and stuff, and I'm like, clutter. This is true clutter. But it's walking the fine line between clutter and like a junkyard, and it's kind of like, is it really good? I don't know, but I still, you know, overall I'm happy with the way it turned out. So that is what's going on with the build, and it's a lot. But I was actually really excited to do this build because Lane and Mrs. Kim are the characters that live in this house, and possibly Mr. Kim. Here's the thing with Mr. Kim, who's like Lane's dad, I guess. They literally never mention him in the series. You literally never see him, ever, but then they allude to him sometimes, and they're like in the first season, she's like, oh, my parents, Lane says my parents, multiple, implying that she has multiple parents, but then throughout the series, it slowly starts to reference only Mrs. Kim, and then also in the Year in the Life series at some point, she says hi to Mr. Kim, but I don't know, that could just be one of Lane's other relatives that also happens to be a Kim. It's all very complicated. So I don't know if Mr. Kim actually exists, so I sort of just did it based on everything we see in the series with Mrs. Kim and Lane. But anyway, what I was going to say is that they're actually two of my favorite characters, just in terms of like their character dynamic and stuff, because Lane is like this sort of, I don't know, rebel isn't the right word, because she's definitely a rebel in her mother's eyes, but she's not really a rebel. Like, she's a pretty typical teen. She's really into rock music, and like she loves music in general. and her mom is like very, very religious. She's like Seventh-day Adventist, and she's very invested in it, and she's so she's sort of overprotective of Lane for that reason. And then it just like causes a lot of strain in their relationship, because Lane feels like she has to hide herself from her mom because she wants her mom to like still like her, you know, like she wants her mom to be proud of the person that she is, but she also doesn't want to like stop liking the things that she likes because she likes those things and she can't help that. So it's all very like stressful for the two of them, but it's also like one of my favorite relationships to watch throughout the show, because they really develop it. Like in the beginning, she literally hides everything from her mom, and she just has like, it's totally like chaotic floorboard type of life. Like she has CD collections in her floorboards and stuff, and she just wears all of these outfits, and then she like wears her rock Nirvana band t-shirts under them and whatever. But by the end of the series, she actually like has, well, first of all, she has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend is someone in her band who's also not Korean, which is the whole thing throughout the show. Her mom is like very opposed to her dating anybody that's not Korean. And then she has a boyfriend. She has 2 babies with said boyfriend, and she is in a band, and her mom is like supportive of all of that stuff, but it's like a rocky road to get there, you know? So I really like watching that, because I don't know, I mean, the entire show is sort of about like mother-daughter relationships. Like obviously there's Lorelai and Rory's, and then there's Lorelai and Emily's relationships, and it's all like that. But Mrs. Kim and Lane's is actually like the one that I think grows the most, because the other ones sort of, they stay pretty stagnant, I want to say. Like there's not a lot of character development or relationship development between, especially not Emily and Lorelai. And then honestly, Rory and Lorelai's just kind of goes down the drain. I have a lot of feelings about Rory's character in general. Like it doesn't really thrive that much, but like her relationship with her mom does kind of like deteriorate a little bit, I think, throughout the show. Whereas Lane and Mrs. Kim definitely grow closer. So it's like one of my favorite things about the show to watch, in terms of the way that it was written and stuff, and it gets at a lot of issues that I really like. So I appreciate that aspect of the show a lot, and I just really like this family. And I also like this house, and I never really appreciated just how much stuff was in it before, and I said this in every single build. I'm like, they just have stuff everywhere. That's what they do when they design the sets. They just put stuff everywhere, and it's freaking insane, let me tell you, because I don't know how they managed to get their hands on all of this stuff, because it's literally just like, I don't know, man. I really don't know. But yeah, this is like, this trumps all in terms of stuff. There's a lot of it, because it's supposed to be a shop, right, where they sell stuff, so obviously there's a lot of stuff, and it's all like, oh, crazy chaotic, and I don't know how I feel about it. But anyway, as you can see, we're doing the front yard right now, and there's stuff everywhere. I'm sorry if I sound like crazy anxious right now. I've been on an adrenaline rush this entire build. I built it like kind of fast because I put it off because I built the shell of it yesterday, but then I did all of the rest of it in like 3 hours today. Well, more like 2 hours, I think, actually. And yeah, it takes a lot of, I don't know, adrenaline, energy to put this many objects down all in one go. It's just a lot. So yeah, but now the inside I think is better than the outside. Like I said before, the outside feels like there's not really a rhyme or reason to it. Like it's just like, oh, this random statue that kind of looks like a turkey, I'm just gonna put this down, you know? And it's just a mess. Yeah, so the inside is slightly better because there's sort of like more, I don't know, a bit more of an aspect of organization to it. I will say though that since, like I said, I had a really hard time creating the floor plan for this and like accurately representing the floor plan, it was really difficult to like recreate actual like specific rooms and stuff, because also I have an entire Pinterest board, okay, dedicated to Kim's Antiques and all the stuff in Kim's Antiques and all of the different like rooms, and I don't know, the whole thing is like a maze of different, like you weave through different tables and chairs and I don't know, doorknobs and stuff, and it's very yeah, it was very difficult to like try to accurately represent that in The Sims. But the other thing is that the floor plan changes a lot, and the rooms themselves change a lot. There's like 3 different dining rooms that I saw throughout the series, and that's not even counting the ones where there's like the huge Kim family reunions where there's like everybody and there's like 5 different tables that they're all sitting at. And the only times we really see the living room is when, I believe in the episode where Lane and Zach get married. I think that's it. And also, or no, there's 2 episodes with weddings that take place at the Kim house. And in both of those episodes, we see the living room. Besides that, we do not see it. But in those episodes, it's set up like this whole, like, walk down the aisle type of thing. There's just a bunch of chairs and stuff, so that's not really a very accurate living room now, is it? So I had to just kind of improvise, I guess. But that happened with a few different rooms. We also don't see, or that's a lie, we see Mrs. Kim's room once in the entire series, and it's in the episode where she takes in Kyun, and then Lane gets really jealous about it, so then she, like, kind of freaks out, but then later on in the episode she goes and, like, kisses her mom on the forehead while she's sleeping, which personally I like to think I would wake up when if somebody, like, kissed me on the forehead while I was sleeping, because that's kind of, I don't know, I think that's a little stressful. Like, what if there's a murderer or something kissing you on the forehead and it's like their creepy ritual before they kill you? Sorry, I'm getting off track. See, I was listening to a bunch of true crime while I built this, so that's why I'm thinking about that, but yeah. Ooh, sorry if you saw that. By the way, my camera keeps having these, like, okay, it's not technically my camera, it's my mouse keeps having these glitches where it, like, zooms randomly away from, or it zooms to the bottom of the screen, which makes my window, like, do this weird flippity thing, so it zooms out to my main screen. I tried to cut all of those out, but apparently I did not get one, and I do not have the energy to restart this build because it's like 1 a.m. and I really need to finish this voiceover, put in the screenshots, and go to sleep because I'm tired. But luckily I can sleep in tomorrow because, well, can I really? I think I can, because my history class is tomorrow, and that's the only one where we don't have to have an online check-in, because my history teacher is really very lenient about stuff like that. Although one thing I will say is that she keeps putting our assignments up, like, literally the day before they're due. Every other teacher puts the assignment up, like, after the last class, so you have a week to do it, right? And you could sort of do it on your own timetable or whatever, but she puts it up the day before, so then if you, like, hadn't planned for it to be there, and you have kind of a, like, strict plan for your day, and you're like, I know what everything, like, time is happening, you know? But then you don't actually know because you have to do this random assignment. So, you know, I guess I should just incorporate that into my plan from now on, but it's fine. Everything is fine. So I guess I technically need to do my history assignment, and then I can go to sleep. Anyway, yeah. Oh, I feel like this entire voiceover is very chaotic. I'm sorry. Remember 2 voiceovers ago when I said I wasn't gonna say my voiceovers were bad in my voiceovers anymore? Oh, that was... Wow, I was a dreamer. Imagine, not, yeah. Anyway, I have a post-it note with me of stuff to talk about, because I knew that I would run out of stuff to talk about. My voiceovers have been kind of lackluster lately in terms of personal ranting, and I don't know why that is. I think I just have run out of interesting stuff to say. I'm no longer an interesting person, and it's kind of unfortunate, but, let's see. Oh, this post-it note is so boring too. I really thought this stuff was interesting. Okay, the first bullet point is propagating plants. So I'm propagating my... Sorry. So I'm propagating my plants right now. I have 2 Echeveria plants that I took little leaves off of that I'm waiting for them to callus, and then it's a whole process where you, like, wait for them to grow roots and stuff. I'm really scared that I'm gonna kill them though, because I killed my hanging plant and I was so disappointed about it. Like, I mean, there is still one single root on my hanging plant that, like, is holding on to life, and I think it has some hope left, so maybe that one will be okay, you know? But, I don't know. I think that the hanging plant might grow back, but overall, it appears that I do not have that much of a green thumb, which, like, I did for a while. I really did. My plants were all thriving, and now they're not, so I don't know what's happening. I think I'm just breathing too much of their... Not that they don't need oxygen. They need carbon dioxide. I should be providing them with more carbon dioxide since I'm in my room all the time, so logically, they should be doing better than they were before, but they're not, so that's fine, I guess. I'm not offended at all, but, yeah, so I'm propagating those plants because I have a, like, oh, I'm losing the word, pot! I have a pot for my plants, that is now empty because, like I said, my plant died. So, I am getting some new plants to fill that pot again, because I just don't like empty pots, it's depressing. And, yeah, that's what's going on with that. I'm sure everybody was fascinated by that. Let's see what my next, brilliant topic of discussion is. Oh, this one reads Heather's comment. So, for my choir class, we have to do these things called performance reviews, and originally it was supposed to be for live performances, right, where you, like, watch a performance, or, like, it's like a musical or a choir performance or a band concert or whatever, you know, and then you just write a review about it. I am losing my mind, sorry. So you write a review about said performance, and then it's just about, like, the music and all that stuff. All that good stuff. Interesting, fascinating to choir directors that have dedicated their life to music, I think. So, yeah, it's usually just, like, you only have to do one per semester, so it's not like a big thing. But obviously, a lot of us have been procrastinating, and so we didn't do it before lockdown started, meaning that we had to watch things online instead. And I decided, like the good musical stan that I am, to watch a Heathers performance. And it wasn't illegal, don't worry, it was not a bootleg, I don't think. I'm pretty sure, although to be fair, it was uploaded under DIY slime Heather tutorial, so maybe it's not legal. But I vividly remember that it used to be up as a legal recording. Like, it used to be put up by the company that did it, so I think it is. It's fine. Anyway, there was a comment under that was referencing one of the brilliant lyrics in the brilliant musical that is Heathers, and said lyric is, "Let's guarantee they never see their senior prom," because if you don't know the storyline of Heathers, it's based on the movie. And boy, is it just the best plot twist you've ever seen. It's like, it starts out as such a tame teen movie, and then it just goes crazy so fast. So, yeah, if you know the plot line, you'll probably understand why, but JD says, "Let's guarantee they'll never see their senior prom." And someone in the comments was like, "This line did not age well," and I agree, because funny, the seniors in my school are suffering right now. They're very disappointed. And that's all I had to say about the Heathers comment. I don't know. This is so boring. I'm so sorry. Let's see. What else is there to... Oh, Rory's problematicness. Good. We can go back to talking about Gilmore Girls. So, I realized that I have never addressed how much I hate the way that Rory's character does not develop at all throughout the series. It's very upsetting to me. So let's talk about that right now, because I have nothing else to talk about. So Rory, if you are not familiar with the series, is Lane's best friend. And, I mean, in the series, Lane is sort of like the sidekick to Rory, but for all intents and purposes, Rory is the sidekick to Lane in this video. So, Rory is... She starts out as this very, like, bright, overachieving, super into studying and stuff individual, and she's very, I don't think quiet is the right word necessarily, but she picks her moments. Like, she's not one of those people that needs attention all the time, but she still, like, gets on well with people, so it's just a whole thing. She's, like, basically a perfect person is the point, and that was the point of her character at first. Like, they literally said that in interviews and stuff. Like, they wrote her to be, like, a very admirable character. But then she sort of has a lot of breaks in her character throughout the show, and it's very problematic, and I do not appreciate this. One such example, well, not such example, but one of her character weaknesses, I think, she cheats on, like, literally every boyfriend she has, and it sucks. So, because especially in the Year in the Life series, it's a whole plot line where she just keeps forgetting her boyfriend. She keeps forgetting that she has a boyfriend, and she's cheating on him with Logan. Sorry, if you haven't watched this Year in a Life, I'm so sorry. I'm spoiling everything for you, but I'm just gonna spoil everything. So if you haven't watched it yet, and you plan to, you might not want to watch this video. But anyway, she cheats on literally everyone, and it's like, why? Why does she do that? She does not have to do that, because I understand wanting to make her less perfect, but you can make her less perfect by, like, making her not get perfect grades all the time, or, like, making her not be amazing at everything that she tries, you know? Like, it doesn't make sense to me that they would make her imperfections to do with her morality, because, like, we know her from season 1 and on to be a nice person. Like, that's one of her biggest character traits, is just that she tries to be a good person, and, like, you know, she's decent. So then they just, like, go ahead and change that, and it's like, why would you do that? I don't understand. So that is, like, my main complaint. Then my other complaint is just her entire relationship with Logan. I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased against Logan, because I've always found him kind of, like, cocky, his entire character, and, like, I have nothing against the actor, or even the way that the actor portrays the character. Like, I think he does a really good job of playing the character. It's just the character as a whole. Like, you know, his entire demeanor is very, like, rich, privileged kid, you know? Which there's nothing wrong with that necessarily, except that he is just kind of ignorant about it, I think, in my opinion at least. But, then he starts turning Rory like that, and I hate it, because she, like, when she went into Yale, she was friends with Marty, you know? And then she just switches to being friends, like, with Logan's whole group and stuff, and they're all, like, crazy $70 dinner or whatever, and it's like, why did you have to do that? I don't really understand. Because, see, she was so, like, I don't want to say she's not down to earth, but, like, she steals a yacht, you know? That's not the type of thing a down to earth person does necessarily. And obviously it was supposed to be part of her whole, like, mental breakdown, because Mitchum Huntsberger was like, oh, you suck and you'll never be a good journalist. But that's the other thing. See, Rory is not the type of person, as we know her in the series at least, she's not the type of person to like back down because one person thinks she's not good enough. But then the other thing to consider there is that because she's always been so good at everything she does, nobody has ever told her that she can't do anything. And because of that, she backs down very easily the second she is told that she can't do something, even though it's been her dream for her entire life. And I just feel like that's not... I don't know. Like, the thing is, I get that all of these things are supposed to be imperfections in her character because they didn't want to make her a person that was so unattainable and, like, impossible to be, you know, because a lot of people looked up to her and whatever. But, like, you don't have to make her imperfect in ways that are, like, not admirable. Like, you can make her imperfect by having someone criticize her and someone not think she's good enough. But then, like, to make her a person that people should admire would be to have her, like, continue working hard and not let that affect her, you know? I don't know. I just think that kind of bothers me a little bit, which is like, I don't mean to criticize her character as much as I am. That's a lie, I do. But like, it's not entirely fair of me because, listen, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not even close to a perfect person, but I am not Rory, you know? And Rory just, she was such a nice person. She was such a hardworking person. She was so relatable, and all of that, they just took it away so fast. And also, in the Year in the Life series, she's just tanking. Like, her entire career and everything is going down. And I understand that they kind of did that to be, like, relatable to the millennial perspective, right? Because millennials, like, I mean, the whole job market, everything is horrible. So, like, they did that to make her relatable. But if anything, she's, like, first of all, she has people chasing her. She has an entire website that, like, wants her to work for them. But then she, like, shows up without a pitch, without, like, expecting an interview, which doesn't really make sense to me, because, like, I don't know, whatever, but, she just, like, ignores all of her options for so long, and then suddenly, she's like, oh wow, I need this job, and so she goes for the job, but then she, like, doesn't do anything to prove to them that she deserves it. Like, they've just been asking her to consider their company as a place that she might want to, like, look into, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have to, like, try it all to be worthy of it, you know, and so that's, like, one aspect of the entitlement, I think. But then the other aspect of her entitlement is that, like, she really, I don't even know how to explain it, but she just is so entitled with her relationships. Like, she thinks that she can have whoever she wants. That's not how it works, okay? You break up with Dean, then he gets married to somebody else, and then you think you could just have an affair with him. Although I guess it wasn't really an affair, it was kind of like a one-time thing. Well, the first time it was. But, like, it's not, I don't know. I just think she doesn't really develop in the series. That's the thing. It would be one thing if, like, she started out like that and she was kind of, like, morally shifty, and then even if she just continued like that throughout the series, but instead we just see her go from being a really good character to being a really bad character, and I don't think, like, that just doesn't make sense to me, you know? I don't understand why they would want to do that. So that's my rant about Rory, and I'll probably have more to say the next video, but for now, that is what we're going with because I have run out of steam and stuff to say. And let's see what else is next. Oh, another thing. Sorry, I just read the notes on my sticky note. So she cheats on, like, all her boyfriends, as we have previously discussed. But then she shames Paris for cheating on her boyfriend with Asher. And it's like, seriously? Seriously? You really think that you are, like, any better than Paris? Because you're not. You have kissed multiple people, and I get that Paris had, like, a whole affair with Asher, and her stuff with Dean and her stuff with Jess was just, like, sort of one-off things, and she regretted it afterwards and whatever. But, like, you don't get to act like you're morally superior because of that. Oh wow, I sounded like Logan just then when she wrote the whole article about the... Sorry, I know too much about the show. You will learn that pretty quickly if you listen to these voiceovers. But, yeah, it's just a whole issue. I just don't think that she really gets to criticize Paris after she's, like, after the way she's acted, because Paris was, like, I mean, she cheated on people before Paris cheated on anybody, you know? And naturally, Paris and Jamie grew apart, and it was ridiculous. So, that is my rant about Rory, and that's all I have to say for today, except for the other stuff on my sticky note. And one thing is, take a new profile pic, because I have bangs now, as you may have heard me mention. I discussed it at length in my cottagecore speed build. I cut bangs for myself. It was a whole thing. I don't know. I mean, it might have been a mental breakdown. It might have just been me deciding to do something, because I wanted bangs for a long time, you know. So I was like, you know what, never been a better time in history to do it than when we're when we're not gonna have to see anybody. So I just did it. But now I need to put bangs on my sim for my profile picture, and also I hate my profile picture right now, like deeply. I really don't like it. I don't know, something about it just irks me. But I have been really lazy for a really long time, and I haven't wanted to take a new profile picture, because also I think that requires downloading some of the pose pack mods, and I just don't really, I'm not that familiar with the world of mods and pose packs and all that stuff, so I don't really know. So I need to do that at some point. So if anybody knows of any good pose packs, I think that's what it's called, I'm not really sure, to take profile pictures with, that would be pretty cool. But I have to put bangs on my sim is the main point. And yeah, that's it on the sticky note. So anyway, now we're doing Mrs. Kim's room. Oh, I totally skipped over Lane's room. But yeah, the cool thing about Lane's room is that she has this whole thing where she has sort of a bunch of, like I said, stuff hidden under the floorboards. Wow, floorboards. But then there's all this other stuff also where she has an entire sort of wardrobe hidden in different places around her bed and stuff, and it's just all very complicated. So I tried to sort of incorporate that into her room. I don't know how much you guys saw of it, but I tried my best there. And then I just did Mrs. Kim's room, which is very minimally decorated. I have to say the upstairs was a breath of fresh air compared to the downstairs, because there was so much stuff in downstairs. It just stressed me out to no end, and I just couldn't deal with it. So the upstairs, Mrs. Kim was very conservative with her decorations. I don't think conservative is very, probably minimalistic, but still traditional with it. So I don't know if you noticed that, but I liked that also. Anyways, this is pretty much the end of the build, so thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did and you want to let me know, you can leave a like and comment. Subscribe and click the bell for notifications if you want to see more of these videos and you want to get notified every single time that I upload a video. And if you want to play in this build, it will be on the gallery. My original idea is in the description. That is it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.